New York City once again opened its streets, its sky, and its heart to one of the most cherished American holiday traditions, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. As the sun rose across Manhattan, spreading gold across the Upper West Side, the sidewalks were already packed with families, tourists, locals, and lifelong parade lovers who had been waiting for hours, some since before dawn, all hoping to secure the perfect view of one of the most iconic events in the world. The energy was unmistakable, a mix of celebration, childhood nostalgia, and holiday wonder that seemed to connect millions of people in one shared experience. For nearly a century, this parade has rolled through the streets of New York, weaving together giant character balloons, elaborately designed floats, marching bands, celebrity performances, and a sense of joy that transcends age, background, and tradition. And this year was no different. In fact, with anticipation higher than ever, the 2025 edition of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade felt like a return to pure Americana, a moment of unity at a time when the world deeply craved something hopeful. Spectators lined the route stretching from the Upper West Side all the way to Herald Square. The laughter of children echoed between buildings as they pointed at their favorite balloons, waving excitedly at performers they had only seen on screens before today. Parents balanced excitement with nostalgia. Grandparents revisited memories of their own childhoods. Teenagers captured everything on phones held high in the cold November air. And through it all, an unmistakable holiday spirit flowed, uniting everyone watching. One of the longtime spectators, Megan Kiba, expressed a sentiment shared by many around her. "I just like the magic of Thanksgiving," she said, her breath visible in the crisp morning air. "There's something about this parade that makes you feel like anything is possible, even for a moment." A little further down the line, another attendee recalled attending the parade decades earlier. "I came as a kid and I had such great memories of it, so I wanted to bring them this year," he said. His children pressed up against the barricades, their eyes wide with excitement. The joy was contagious. Every family along the route carried a story, a reason for being there, and the parade seemed to collect all those stories into a living tapestry. For Joe Latanzi, bringing his family wasn't just about reliving old memories. It was about building new ones. "For me, it's tradition," he said. "And it's nice to start a new tradition with them." He gestured toward his young daughters who eagerly waited to see the next band march past. As the crowd settled, Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate moved through the energy, finding the performers who traveled thousands of miles to be part of the spectacle. This year, one group that drew significant attention was the Northern Arizona University Marching Band. For many members, it wasn't just their first Macy's parade, it was their first visit to New York City. The excitement was evident on their faces, even before they took their positions. "We've been rehearsing for about 2 months," one band member explained. "We first found out that we were going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in fall 2024, so we've had a lot of time to do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, the logistics." Their commitment was impressive, but for them, every hour of rehearsal and every mile traveled was worth it. Another performer chimed in, "We are having such a magical time, we're just so lucky." The thrill of being part of something so globally recognized was clear. For these young musicians, playing on a stage watched by millions across the United States and around the world was more than an opportunity. It was a milestone in their artistic journey, something they would carry home long after the parade ended. Behind the scenes, the parade operation was running with the precision of a well-rehearsed production. Every balloon, float, performer, and stage cue had been planned months in advance. The man overseeing all of it, parade executive producer Will Koss, spoke with Eyewitness News about the scale and impact of this year's event. Koss highlighted the craftsmanship, dedication, and logistical coordination required to bring the parade to life. From balloon handlers who had spent weeks training, to musicians who had perfected every note, to float technicians who had worked night and day in warehouses to prepare the structural elements that would glide down 6th Avenue, the parade was truly a blend of creativity, engineering, performance, and community effort. He also emphasized that despite the complexities, the heart of the parade remained simple: to bring joy. To remind people of connection. To mark a moment when the nation steps back from daily routine and celebrates gratitude, family, and togetherness. As the floats began rolling, the sound of drums and brass filled the cold morning air. Marching bands from states across the country added color and rhythm to the scene. Confetti burst from floats. Costumed performers danced tirelessly, smiling as they interacted with children who watched in awe. Balloon wranglers navigated down city streets with giant characters towering stories above them. Helicopters hovered above, capturing aerial shots for millions watching from home. Families cheered as familiar faces passed by. Beloved cartoon icons, celebrities waving from floats, and even Santa Claus, who traditionally marks the grand finale of the parade. Every element built toward a final sense of holiday excitement that washed over the crowd. Tourists from around the world had planned vacations around this moment. Some had flown for more than 10 hours just to stand in the cold for 3, hoping to catch every symbolic moment. "There's nothing like it," one tourist said. "This parade feels like the heartbeat of America during the holidays." As the parade moved forward, Phil Tate continued gathering reactions. Children clapped along with the bands. Teenagers posed for selfies with the balloons behind them. Local New Yorkers stood with their coffee cups, amused at the chaos yet visibly proud that something this magical belonged to their city. And through it all, the themes of gratitude and unity echoed. This was a day about family, about history, about culture, and about celebrating everything that brings people together. Even in a world where tensions, conflicts, and uncertainty weigh heavily, events like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade remind people of the simple joys that often go unnoticed. Every float represented months of creativity. Every band represented years of dedication. Every balloon represented decades of iconic characters beloved by millions. And every spectator represented a story worth telling. Stories of childhood memories, family traditions, and the shared joy of being part of something bigger. By the time the parade approached its finale in Herald Square, the crowd's energy had reached its peak. Children sat on parents' shoulders. Performers felt the adrenaline of nearing the parade's most televised stretch. Even the November chill seemed to fade under the warmth of the collective spirit. As the final performances concluded and Santa waved to the crowd signaling the official beginning of the holiday season, the streets were filled with applause. People took their final pictures of the floats. Bands posed for group photos. Families began their walk home or toward subways, still buzzing with excitement. For millions across the world, watching the broadcast brought its own sense of tradition. Living rooms filled with the sounds of marching music, hosts discussing parade history, and the sight of New York City energized with celebration. For New York, the parade was once again a symbol of resilience, joy, and community. For families, a chance to bond. For performers, a moment they would remember forever. And for the nation, a reminder that even in challenging times, unity and celebration are still possible. As the last confetti settled on the street and the floats rolled away, the 2025 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade left behind more than an event. It left behind memories, traditions carried forward, and a renewed sense of holiday spirit. In the words of one spectator, "It's not just a parade. It's a feeling."